that make college football fun. Auburn and Tennessee today. The Auburn Tigers, nation's top-ranked team, moving the ball on the ground, as you see, best in the nation at that. Tennessee, on the other hand, the top passing team, the principals. Auburn's Bo Jackson, the hammer for the Tigers on the ground. Tennessee quarterback Tony Robinson, an agile passer with remarkable accuracy. I'm Keith Jackson along with Frank Broyles. When you talk about Bo Jackson, you're talking about 222 pounds, 4.3 speed, over 40 yards, and instinctive ability to run with the football. The people who follow the Auburn Tigers say he's the greatest they have ever had at carrying the ball. Tennessee, on the other hand, is committed to live this season with the pass. And they have Tony Robinson, who we saw him against UCLA 2 weeks ago. And he stated his case very clearly. He's one of the best in the country.
Well, I think Tony Robinson reminds me of Joe Montana, formerly of Notre Dame, and the San Francisco 49ers, in that they're so effective at scrambling with a football. Robinson has that ability and that sense of knowing where the opening is. He gets outside deep, and then he has that vision of seeing the field and hitting the receiver for the big play. In fact, if I was coaching another team, I'd have a heart failure every time he gets outside.
It's kind of interesting, you know. They say of boxers, you box sometimes as much with your feet as you do with your hands. I think that's the case of Robinson.
Robinson's feet are so quick, and he sets up the defensive lineman and gets outside of them, and it makes big plays happen.
And these are the stats that caused Johnny Majors, his coach, to say this is the best quarterback that he has ever coached. And this afternoon, it is clearly evident that he's going to have a big game for Tennessee. Hey, football. Number 1 ranked Auburn on the road at Tennessee in a ball game that is called the big game throughout the South today.
CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Nissan. By exceptionally smooth Michelob, the beer of choice for people who are moving up. Where you're going, it's Michelob. By Pennzoil Motor Oil. Quality protection. Ask for it. And by the people of Rockwell International, where science gets down to business.
A sold-out Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee, the University. Tennessee hosting the number 1 ranked Tigers of Auburn with wins over southwestern Louisiana and southern Mississippi. Pat Dye, their coach, his record 36-14 at Auburn. This is 5th season. It's a big, strong football team that figures to prove itself today. And now the Volunteers. A 26-26 tie against UCLA in their opener. Johnny Majors, the coach, his 9th season, 51-39-4. We expect the crowd count today will be at least 95,000. I'm Keith Jackson along with Coach Frank Broyles. Frank overlooked in all the hype leading up to this big ball game in the South today the fact that the number 1 team, Auburn, while it has the great running back, does not have a settled situation at quarterback.
Well, Auburn has been alternating 3 quarterbacks, and I don't think they can remain number 1 very long unless they can establish a quarterback. So that I think it's critically important for Tennessee to give their quarterback some problems, not let them come out of this ball game with established quarterbacks. If they do, they'll be virtually unbeatable.
You know Jackson's going to get his yardage because Bo runs so well, perhaps the running back of his generation. What do you think Tennessee will try to do against Auburn in defensive formation?
First, they'll overplay the run by crowding the line of scrimmage, but primarily they've got to force Bo to run east and west, sideways. Bo is most effective when he starts wide and then cuts back, uses that power and speed, and goes for the long runs. Keith, in other words, they've got to make him run the hump, giving the defensive backs and linebackers a chance to help in the tackle.
Johnny Majors at his alma mater now, 9th season. He has not put this team where he wants it, high in the national rankings. this would seem a rather golden opportunity for his program.
Well, Johnny's had some bowl games, but not the rankings, as you mentioned, of conference championships. A win today, I think, Keith, would make him a great football team, would give him the confidence to go along with the ability of their quarterback and wide receivers to maybe go all the way and win his first conference championship.
It is a ball game today here in Knoxville. The outcome of it probably will be felt right through the final game of the Southeastern Conference season. Number 1 Auburn against the Tennessee Volunteers.
Great depth about the talent of Tennessee quarterback Tony Robinson. But let me add a footnote. 11 days ago in practice, Tony Robinson was throwing a pass. He injured his index finger on his throwing hand. He came down hard on his teammate's helmet, Robbie Scott. The finger was swollen. It was very, very bruised. He didn't practice last week. He came back this week. He is still not 100%, although the finger has made great progress. What compounds that problem is the way that Tony holds the football. Take a look at his grip now. You can see the index finger is unusually high on the point of the football. When I talked to Tony about that, he said it's the only way I know how to throw. Some quarterbacks use that technique to get a nose of the football up. They also use it to increase the velocity of the football. What also compounds the problem is that is the upper hand that Tony uses on the snaps. So all day long, that finger will be taking a pounding from the center. In warm-ups today, Tony looked pretty sharp. He was throwing the ball to the target where he wanted to. The only thing was he didn't have that tight spiral. Heath?
All right, Tim Brent, thanks very much. Carlos Revez ready to kick it off for Tennessee. Brent Fullwood is deep for Auburn. The kick angles short and off to the right side, where it is taken up front by Kyle Collins, a running back. Kyle Collins was the man that destroyed Tennessee a year ago because Bo Jackson was hurt. Wiggend and Gaines can both fly. Auburn comes up looking new this year out of the eye. Having deserted the wishbone that Pat Dye had installed there, they go to the up man, Tommy Agee. He's 5'11" and 210 pounds, and he gets very little out of the play. Jeff Parks is the tight end, and it is 2nd down and 8 now for Auburn as Agee picked up 2 yards on the carry, and Berger is at quarterback with a man in motion and turned inside with it. And he goes down at the 35, picked up 1 yard on the play. So they've used Bo Jackson as the decoy so far, and it's 3rd and long. Tennessee's defense is Scott, Brown, Hovanek, Robinson, Jones, Ziegler, and Miller, the down linemen and the backers. The secondary a little different this time than we saw them in their opener. Creamer and Davis are at the cornerback and free safety spot. They are taller, rangier players than those who started there against UCLA. 3rd down, and it's pitched back to Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson is slammed down at about the 35-yard line as the left corner, Andre Creamer, and the inside backer, Darren Miller, brought him down.
At the bottom of your screen, fast support by the cornerback. Creamer, number 1, makes the key play to stop it. As the pitch is out to Jackson, number 1, takes on the blocker, Agee, forces him back into the linebacker, number 45. And the play goes to Miller.
The punt is away by Auburn to Tennessee's Tim McGee, a very high-hanging punt by Lewis Colbert, and Tennessee will take over at the 25 with Tony Robinson at quarterback for the Volunteers. He's lanky at 6'3". Charles Wilson will play both fullback and tailback today for them. Jim Miller will start at fullback, a 230-pounder. Wide receivers, and they are something. Tim McGee, 5'10", 180. Eric Swanson, 5'11", and 185. And there are other trackmen waiting for the call to go play the game for the Vols. They have put the ball at the 24 of Tennessee, where it's 1st down. Let's see if they go to the air on the first play. Auburn shows a 4-man front. And Robinson straight back. All the time in the world and drills the ball. Tried to force it, actually. Tried to force it to McGee, and it didn't work. Jeff Smith is a tight end, 6'3", 235. David Douglas at tackle, 265. Harry Galbraith at guard, 260. Johnny Hibbett at center, he's 250. John Bruin at guard, 275. And Bruce Wilkinson at tackle. Wilkinson weighs 260. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Tennessee. McGee drew a crowd that time, Frank.
Yes, he did. The linebackers dropped back beautifully and defended on the play.
Robinson again, straight back, sets up a screen play. The ball dumped off to Charles Wilson, and Wilson runs it out to the 29-yard line for a gain of 5 yards. 3rd and 5 coming up. as
really try to put pressure on Robinson. UCLA was not effective in this, and Robinson just burned them.
Pete Panuska in the backfield now for Tennessee on 3rd down and 5. Robinson will throw the ball. Ducks away, going to run for the first down. He's got it and a lot more. You don't think that isn't an agile quarterback, huh? 32-yard line is where they finally bring him down.
When you try to sack the quarterback, you leave some gaps to run. From the left of your screen, you see Auburn just blitzing coming in there, and it opens up a big hole. That's the problem you have when you try to sack the quarterback, instead of just trying to hurry his throw. And the running ability right there of Robinson, we talked about earlier, 39 yards.
We have, however, the Tennessee center, Johnny Hibbett, hurt on the play and down on the field back on the 43. So we've got a timeout at 12:12 to go in the first quarter. Tennessee at the Auburn 32. As you see the series record there, going in to replace Hibbett will be Todd Kirk, a sophomore from Pennington Gap, Virginia. He's 6'3", 255. And Tennessee comes up on first down at the Auburn 32 after the 39-yard run by Tony Robinson. Auburn still looks like they want to lay the ears back and go after him, though. As Tennessee moves people around, trying to stretch out the defense. And the running play goes to Wilson. Wilson gets a yard out of it before he runs into the inside backer, Ray Corin, a 215-pound sophomore from Albany, Georgia.
What kind of defense is Auburn? The question is, can they cover man for man the Tennessee very capable receivers?
We may find out right here, because Joey Clinkscales has just come in. He joins Tim McGee at the bottom of the picture. Second down, still about 10 as Robinson drops the throw. Dumps it off to the short man. Wilson out of the backfield. He's a yard short of the first down. He looked deep, and he found his two prime receivers, McGee and Clinkscales, had been covered. Swanson was short. He went to the running back, Wilson, out of the backfield. So it is 3rd and 2, and William Howard, number 35, is in there at fullback now. As they line up, it could be a power run right side. Robinson does a lot of checking off at the line of scrimmage, and he's doing it right here.
Here's the blitz.
He's going to throw. Drills it, gets his first down. The ball is inside the 15 and out of bounds at about the 13-yard line to Eric Swanson. Swanson is a junior college player from San Bernardino, California.
Caught 20 passes last year. Number 27 is going to push deep. He sets up the defensive back quarter, giving much too deep a cushion that close to the goal line. He should have been much closer, not giving Swanson a chance to catch the ball open as he did on that pass.
Jim Miller returns at fullback now for Tennessee on first down at the 13 of Auburn. Volunteers with the first threat of the ball game.
There's the blitz again, Keith.
Robinson back, wants to throw it quickly, does throw it quickly. The pass is complete to McGee. McGee is inside the 5 and down to about the 3. And Robinson threw that with a heat on him, because that big outside backer, Pat Thomas, was bearing down on him.
McGee, number 88, 54 receptions last year. Tremendous speed. Very well covered right there, initially by 45 Warren. But when McGee breaks outside and catches the ball, he regains his balance and makes extra yardage.
He's close to a first down on the play.
Beautiful throw, as Keith mentioned, by Robinson, who knew he was going to take a shot just at the time he released the ball. He stayed there and threw a perfect strike.
And the referee, Jimmy Harper, tells us it is a first and goal to go, Tennessee at the Auburn 3. Howard comes back in at fullback. Charles Wilson is the I-back or tailback, and they line up in the power I now with a double tight end alignment. They're going to try to run it in, apparently. Go to Wilson. Sweep right. Good blocking. Has a crack. Touchdown. An impressive drive by the Tennessee Volunteers, keyed by a 39-yard gallop from long-legged quarterback Tony Robinson. Carlos Rivez is in for the extra point try. And it is good. 10 minutes and 29 seconds to go in the first quarter. Here's the TD.
Our sweep. Quarterback going to pitch the ball black. He's got two blockers out in front of him. A halfback right there blocking on the linebacker. Fullback Howard, number 35, blocking right there on Porter. And McClure cannot make the play. Wilson goes in for the touchdown.
Accounted for all but 4 of the yards.
Chief, we often say the first possession is the most important of all games. Tennessee won that by a long shot, both offensive and defensive.
Bullwood from the 2 for Auburn. Gets a block to the sidelines, and he's thrown out around the 20-yard line. Here's Tim Brandt.
All right, Keith, we've got an update now on Johnny Hibbett, the Tennessee center, and it is not good news.
Yeah,
That's a
bad
tough
for
break.
Johnny. It is the 19 where they mark the ball for Auburn, and I imagine we'll see more of Bo in this possession.
They'll turn and pitch it to him, I would guess.
On first down, he's to about the 23. He's one of those backs that he sticks his head into the line, boom, and everybody dusts themselves off, and he's got 5. Penn State in the fourth quarter with Michigan looking better and better. Maryland's a big, strong team, and the Wolverines are handling them. It is second down. Right at 6 yards. And inside, down at the 25, goes Jeff Berger. Here's Jim Lampley. And it's third down and about 4 here at Neyland Stadium as Berger looks to throw. Gets a pass off to the 35-yard line, and the pass is caught for a first down by Jeff Parks, the tight end from Gardendale, Alabama. Just over the 35. AG number 30 and Jackson number 34 lined up in the I formation. Berger down the line on the option outside the Jackson. Slips and falls down for a loss on the play, trying to cut back. The pursuit was coming up. The cornerback, Terry Brown, was coming like a bullet up the outside, and Bo tried to cut it back inside and lost his footing. Miami against the VMI it was. Second down and 12. Penalty flag goes down as Tommy Agee runs the football up close to a first down, but let's see about the flag. So the penalty takes the football back inside the 29. There are your officials today. We told you Jimmy Harper is the referee.
Georgia Tech when I was coaching there.
Chris White is in the backfield now for Tennessee as they go to the nickel defense. He had 3 interceptions against UCLA. That ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it ricochets over the head of the intended receiver, Kyle Collins. And so Auburn now, they need about 17 yards here to keep the ball third and long. Berger back to throw. He had double wide to the bottom, dumps it off to Tommy Agee. Agee's one-on-one out there, and he is brought down on a good open field tackle at about the 40-yard line by Darren Miller.
Good call by the Auburn staff, trying to get Agee on open field and make a long run. Very safe play, picked up some good yardage.
Lewis Colbert has come in to punt now. Lewis Colbert came into this ball game averaging a little over 48 yards. Sometimes that tells you he may be out kicking his coverage.
Well, Keith, his opponents have returned each of his punts an average of 9 yards. Tennessee feels like they may break one in this ball game.
Well, he didn't get all of that one, but it's still up there a long time as Tim McGee drifts up to the 29-yard line and calls for a fair catch. With 6 minutes and 57 seconds to go in the first quarter, 7-0 ball. Quarterback, the story all week long in Knoxville. Coach Johnny Major's comment.
Well, it's a lot better than it was last week. If we'd have played last Saturday, there's no way he could have taken a snap from center. And I'll tell you, it caused some consternation on my part and some other folks' part around here. I told our trainer and our doctor, I said, I can't make him well, but if anything you go on and do, you better try to get it done. We need to go in that ball game with him well. He didn't look too sharp early in the week, but he's come around the last couple of days, and I have confidence he's going to be in good shape for Saturday, and a lot of hopes, too.
In that first possession when he took him for the touchdown, it was his 39-yard run that really was the big play, but he is 4 out of 5 for 33 yards, and he's throwing again. And this one, a little mix-up there. It looked like he was trying to hook up with Wilson to the outside. Charles broke it inside, and he had a lot of company. There were 2 white shirts right with him.
Great football players.
The leaves starting to turn in the Smokies. Second down and 10 from the 29. Panuska and Wilson. The setbacks for Tennessee. I bet you Tony's hoarse when the game's over because he calls every play standing upright. Penalty flag. This has got holding written all over it. The pass is caught short of the first down, up around the 36-37 by Charles Wilson.
That drive was just outstanding. What was it? All but 4 yards, did you say?
Yeah, he accounted for 72 of the 76 yards. Second down and 15. That won't work much against this football team. Wilson taking a little delay, and he is greeted immediately by Nate Hill, a sophomore from LaGrange, defensive left tackle.
In the last 3 years, Keith, something that we never thought we'd see.
Well, they're taking bigger folks, too, I think, than they used to. They're up to about 240 now. Back goes Robinson on third down at about 22 to the sidelines. The pass caught by Wilson, but he's out of bounds at the 26. So Auburn so far has taken away McGee, Clinkscale, Swanson caught one. Smith is yet to see it, and Robinson is having to work to the short man, Wilson, out of the backfield.
Somebody else playing zone.
Bob Garman averaging 41.3 off one game into punt for the ball, spins it out of there, and Trey Gaines will take it back at the 28. And Gaines shakes one tackler, but then gets punished as he comes up to the 36. He took a double lick at the 36-yard line, and the Auburn Tigers will start there, first down, after a 46-yard punt from Garman. First quarter, Auburn's third possession of the ball game. So far, they've run the ball 6 times and picked up 8 yards. They start from their 36. That's Weigand in motion, and ball goes to Bo Jackson. Pops it in the middle, and he'll come out of there with at least 6 yards, close to 7. Second down and 3. He got 7. Berger rides it off, pitches it out. Ball is loose, recovered by Tennessee at the Auburn 36-yard line. Terry Brown has it for the ball. Berger took a lick as he tried to pitch the ball out to Bo Jackson after bellying to the fullback, and he bellied too long with the fullback, and there was penetration by Tennessee.
The top of your screen, quarterbacks for school don't pitch the ball if you're under duress. And you can see right there, Berger, inexperienced, just a sophomore, tried to pitch the ball as two of the defensive men had hit him. That is a no-no, and a fumble resulting.
Red Bennett, the man that came busting in there, the middle guard. And it's an opportunity for Tennessee now as they mark it actually closer to the 38-yard line, and Tony Robinson back trying to check it early, goes deep with it. He's got a man, McGee, touchdown! Well, that's cashing your opportunity in a hurry. 38 yards zip. Robinson to McGee, and McGee was 5 yards open. Revez the extra point. It's good. It's tough these days to take number 1 on the road.
Well, let's take a look at the touchdown. Keith, the great thing about Tennessee, right after the fumble, they come right back and go for the bomb. That's good quarterback. And McGee is just outstanding. As you can see how far he was behind the defensive back, and from the end zone, let's see how much room McGee had to catch the ball before he goes deep. But you can see the arc. Robinson just throws it up for air, and lets McGee run right under it. He's so far behind the quarterback. Ken Johnson, number 30. Now we see the McGee run his route, how he sets up the defender. Then he gives a little inside fake, and number 32, Jonathan Robinson, the cornerback of senior, is completely fooled on the play. Touchdown. Robinson, the cornerback, has been injured and hadn't played too much this year.
Revez kicks off. It's a knuckleball that bounces around and is picked up on the 12-yard line by Kyle Collins. That's a second return for Collins, and he brings the football out to about the 30. So it's time now to do a little character testing, I think, on the part of the Auburn Tigers. They've got to get themselves organized.
Isolate on McGee again and see why he's so outstanding. He's going to set up Robinson by giving this little bit of fake right there to the outside. Robinson took one step outside, and that he should not have done until the ball was thrown. You keep backing up, and you see how far McGee was behind.
Here's a critical moment in the ball game, too, for Auburn. Bobby Walden is now in at quarterback, a redshirt first freshman. And they give it off inside to Bo Jackson. And Bo bums his way for a first down out to about the 44-yard line.
It's been 2 years since he's played.
Brent Fullwood is in at tailback now, replacing Bo Jackson. Fullwood's a good one. Great speed. But he put his helmet in the crowd that time, and there was just no place for him to go. He picked up about 1.5 yards. Here's Jim. They have a tough bunch in that crowd. They really looked good last week against South Carolina, too. Give him 2 yards on that carry. Fullwood, make it 2nd down and 8. The ball just over the 45. Walden rolls it out, dumps it down the middle. It's picked off. Tennessee intercepts at number 45, Darren Miller. Oh, my goodness.
I don't think I've seen a defense play any better than Tennessee has. This is a tough pass to cover. But a bust in the backfield throws Walden, number 15, the freshman quarterback, off balance, but he throws it right to Miller. Darren Miller, number 45, for the interception. Trying to get it over his head, underthrew it.
And Tennessee goes from their 47 first down. Robinson again, going to the air, going big with it. Sideline route, pass is good inside the 30-yard line. Mark it on the 29 as Tennessee strikes big again to Tim McGee.
Once again, when you get a turnover, go for the jugular. Go for the throat. Robinson rifles this ball. Watch the arm. He gets that ball right out there on the corner. A big, big reception to McGee. Now, how does McGee get there? He sets it up by going inside and then back out.
And on top of this play, you have a personal foul call against the Auburn Tigers.
And that is tacked on, Keith, assessed at the end of the play.
And Tennessee will be sitting with a first down at the Auburn 15-yard line. And Robinson 7 out of 9 for 100 yards and a touchdown, and Tennessee leads in the ball game 14-0.
Turnovers at Tennessee. Look at how they lead their opponents. Last 2 weeks against UCLA, they had a +4. Today, they've already got 2.
Wilson and Keith Davis now line up in split back formation for the balls. Double wide, bottom of the picture. Robinson back, going to go loop one into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Incomplete, intended for Joey Clinkscales against Arthur Johnson. Down and 10 from the Auburn 15. Robinson throwing again. Sideline. Pass is good down at the 10. That's a pickup of 5 yards to Eric Swanson with Kevin Porter making the hit for the Tigers.
Once again, the blitz was on. Garrett Kelly coming in from inside, hit Robinson just as he was releasing the ball, but Robinson once again right on target. Knowing the open receiver, identifying the defense, finding the receiver, and letting him have it. Johnny Majors has to be pleased right now.
3rd and 5. Robinson looking, chase, gets it away into the end zone. It is intercepted in the end zone. A great one-handed grab by Tom Powell, and that is one that Tony should not have thrown. Important thing here for Auburn, though, is not to get away from their basic plan. 14-0 Tennessee lead, but the Tennessee defensive people swarming to Bo Jackson. They had UCLA down in the 4th quarter late, 26-10, and let the game get away from them.
We also should point out that Auburn has changed their offense.
2nd down and 9. Jackson with the ball, runs it right up the pipe, and gets it out to the 26.
Thing he's got.
Minute 45 to go in the first quarter. 14-0 Volunteers. Bobby Walden, the quarterback. Son of the punter Bobby Walden, so many of you remember for many great years in the NFL. And Walden doesn't like the circumstance, and he calls timeout rather than risk a mistake. A lot of things about him you don't coach.
That's it, right. Those are instincts, and he came from a school from Tallahassee, Florida, Leon High School, which has produced many fine passes.
All right, Auburn now with its offensive set straightened out. Walden steps in. Drops the ball off the snap. He's back there by himself, gets the pass slapped back in his face. It is incomplete.
Keith, that's exactly what Tennessee wanted to do. Make those young quarterbacks make some mistakes. And both of the young quarterbacks that Auburn's counting on, Walden, number 15, drops the center step. Ball goes right to the ground, gives Tennessee defense a chance to penetrate. By the time Walden gets back up, he doesn't know where the receivers are. He's a little bit lost as he winds up to throw the ball. The linemen are right there and deflected.
In the punt comes Lewis Colbert. His last one was only 32. His first one was 41. Tim McGee waits for him. Pressure on him. And again, McGee calls fair catch rather than risk having the ball come loose. He's got good field position for Tennessee at their own 40. Defense is playing super.
They always have in Pittsburgh. That's one thing that Snall does.
First down, Volunteers, they're 40. Robinson steps back, penalty flag down. Pass goes to Clint Scales. He's wrestled down at the 48. But that flag came quickly. Final score you saw earlier, and Army. Jim Young's got the Cadets running the ball. Oh, but they run it. It's first down and 15 for Tennessee back at the 35. There goes number 28, Keith Davis. And Keith Davis runs for a Tennessee first down. He showed some speed on that delay out of the backfield. Got a great block to spring him and took off for the first down.
Right from the end zone, you see the rushers trying to get up the field to put pressure.
Great block there.
By the fullback, the lead draw. Davis was a highly recruited freshman, maybe the fastest back that they have, and he gets in the secondary and picks up the first down.
It's on the Auburn 47.
Got to use that fake pass and run to keep those defense honest.
Robinson on first down. Down the middle. No, it goes over to the sideline, and it is intercepted. It is caught by Tom Powell, his second interception of the ball game. He had a man, Jeff Smith, down the middle. Didn't see him.
That one certainly didn't have his zip on.
Penalty flag as Bo Jackson carries. Bo gets it from the 24 out to about the 29, but the flag came in a hurry. It's against Auburn motion. While Tennessee shows a little over 11, but we're talking about totally different critters here.
Auburn, yes, Keith, Auburn right now is a one-dimension offense, and that makes it much easier for the Tennessee defense. Key on Bo Jackson and do the best you can against the pass because no Auburn quarterback has looked good throwing the ball so far.
Quarter's over. We've played 15 at Neyland Stadium. The home team, Tennessee, leads number 1 Auburn 14-0. Going into the second quarter of play, it's first down and 15 for the Tigers. The ball just short of their own 19-yard line. Bobby Walden is the quarterback for Auburn. Pitches the ball to Bo Jackson. Big hole right side. And Jackson comes out for the first down. Out to the 36-yard line. 5 yards on 8 carries. First down at the 36. Up man. Agee with the ball. Maybe a yard.
The stats in the first half, Tennessee, of course, in total, the first quarter, Tennessee overwhelming in total yards. 3 first down and 161 yards is really unusual. Both teams having 2 turnovers. Auburn continues to turn the ball over 7 times in the first 2 ball games. Surprisingly for Tennessee with 2 in the first quarter.
Reggie Ware in at fullback. Second down, about 9. Jackson. 40. Stop. That's 4 yards for Bo Jackson on that carry. All-time leading rushers for Auburn. You can see that Bo Jackson will almost surely pass James Brooks and Joe Cribbs before he is done. And there are the baseball scores, all of them partials. And some of the games just getting underway in the National League. 3rd down and 6. Walden back to throw. Takes his time. He's got all day. Now he pulls it down to run it. Gets away. And takes a whack. Fumbles the football. And I think Auburn has covered it at the 49. And it's 1st down. They hand it inside to A.G. And A.G. runs over the top of one Tennessee tackler and makes something out of the play, getting it down inside the 42.
I think the wishbone fullback up the middle. Auburn season today, 7-8 for the season, but only 4 yards today.
Give him 9 yards, 2nd down and 1. Walden looks to throw it on 2nd and short. Throws the ball behind the intended receiver, Freddie Wagand, and they're very lucky to get that one back because Tommy Sims looked back, and suddenly the ball was on his hip, but he couldn't get a handle. Berger didn't have much better luck when he was in there.
Keith, that was kind of a waste down, 3rd and less than 1.
Our eye now.
Watch out for Jackson.
Penalty flag as they go to the up man, A.G. Reggie Ware it was. Reggie Ware was playing the up position on that carry, sophomore from Huntsville. And the penalties against the Tigers.
He's down to a passing down.
Did he catch it?
Yes.
Sure did. Good catch by Trey Gaines. And that time Walden threw a bullet. First serious threat by the Tigers in the ball game today. Jackson. 3 yards. It'll sound like a pack of coyotes howling across the country. 2nd down, 7. Walden got rid of it just before he was hit, but it's a bad pitch, and Tennessee has recovered another miscue by the Auburn Tigers.
The option play by the quarterback is going to get hit. Dale Jones, number 54, has a quarterback stunt. He's coming on the snap of the ball. He forces the quick pitch before Walden is ready to lay it off to Jackson. Jackson had good blocking in front of him, could have made the play. The ball was lateral behind him. It belongs to Tennessee on the recovered fumble on the lateral pass.
3 Auburn turnovers, 2 by Tennessee. Mistakes here in this first half of play with 11:15 to go. Tennessee leading 14-0. And the Volunteers go from their 39 1st down. Robinson pitches to Wilson to the 41 for a couple of yards on the carry. In the American League West, both those teams lost last night. 2nd down, 8 from the 41 for Tennessee. Robinson comes down the line on the option, pitches to Charles Wilson. Wilson makes a good cut and gets a 1st down as he reaches the Auburn side of the field. Arthur Johnson brought him down.
Pat Dye told me last night the one thing he feared would be if Robinson runs the option play, the spin option, fakes the fullback, pitches the ball right out to Wilson, and the defensive backs are playing pass, Keith. That's the reason there's no support. They're playing pass, covering receivers down the field, giving Wilson a chance to make the run.
Volunteers are camped on the Tiger 48 with a 1st down.
It's hard to play the pass man-to-man and stop the option, Keith.
Run it again. Jeff Smith, the tight end, shifted over to that side. They run the same kind. Well, it wasn't exactly the same kind of a play. It was just a straight pitch that time. But Charles Wilson takes the ball down to the 40, and Tom Powell laid a lick on him, and he's a little slow getting up. Well, Derek Claiborne wins one, beating Cincinnati by 20.
I think so, Keith. I really don't. Not right at this point in time. If we are, you know, we got to display it today because we certainly haven't displayed it in our first 2 football games.
They haven't so far today either. Trailing 14-0 in Tennessee with a 2nd down and 3 at the Auburn 40. by Tennessee. Spread you out. Spread you out. Run it. Keith Davis. Got a hole and out of bounds at the 15-yard line of Auburn.
Boy, did Tim McGee make a great block on the cornerback to give Davis that freshman extra running room. But more than that, the right side of the offensive line, as Auburn is trying to get through and on the passer, then you see the blocks take place downfield. Davis
Run twice for 18 and 25 yards.
That'll slow the rush down, Keith, of Auburn. Make them think run.
They put it at the 6 speed of the Tigers. Charles Wilson out of the game. Keith Davis replaced him. He's a 190-pounder from Nashville. And Robinson now, not liking what he's got at hand with this opportunity, doesn't want to mess it up, spends the timeout at 9:37 the first half. Over. 3-touchdown lead. That's a bunch. If they can get it in. They were down here knocking a while ago on the 15 and had the ball intercepted in the end zone. They were turned away.
Oh, the blitz is on, Keith. All out.
They are coming.
They're all up there.
He ducks one. Gets his pass off down the middle. The pass complete to McGee. And McGee fights forward inside the 5 near the 4. That'll be first and goal to go for Tennessee.
McGee just works in an open. After he sees Robinson scramble, man-for-man coverage, quarter number 3 was trying to stay with him, but he could not. He got lost as Robinson scrambled, and McGee had that extra little ability to make yardage after the catch.
First and goal for Tennessee on the Tiger 4. Gerald Robinson was the man pursuing Tony and just couldn't get a handle on him. They go to that power I alignment. They ran it in the last time. This goes to Keith Davis. No, it is not Davis. It's Panuska. Panuska is in there, number 36, and he doesn't get much on that play. Here's Tim Brandt.
Keith, as you look at number 32, Charles Wilson, the running back for Tennessee, the doctors have looked at him. They have examined his left shoulder. They don't know the extent of the injury, so precautionary, they're going to keep him out of the rest of the half. They will reevaluate his shoulder at halftime, and they are hoping that there's no separation. But right now it is extremely sore. He won't be back this half.
Davis is back in now in the backfield for Tennessee. He's the quick one. Robinson will throw. Lifts the goal. Dumps it short, and it is incomplete.
Once when they got down close, now they're in trouble again.
Brian Smith comes in at that support side. Quartermount's the defensive end, and the goal line stand is third down for Tennessee and goal from the 4. I thought that was a bad spot, too. They lost about a half a yard on the spot. Robinson wants to throw it. Pressure zone, gets it off down the middle. Touchdown! It's caught by Vince Carter. Robinson never saw it. He was flat on his back.
Keith, that pass could have been intercepted just as easily as it was called for a touchdown. His interference somewhere, flag in the end zone.
Flag in the end zone. Waved off. Touchdown count.
Once again, Robinson took a chance throwing the ball on that occasion. Carter, just a sophomore, came back and jumped up and caught it at the height.
Tony never saw it, though.
No.
He was upside down.
He was getting hit just as he released it.
Revez for the extra point. And it is a startling 21-0 Tennessee lead and 8:18 to go in the first half.
I would tell the Tennessee, as we look at touchdown again, the rush, the blitz, Robinson's going to try to throw quick. And number 99, Hill, comes through, forces him out of the pocket. And then, of course, Carter jumps up and takes the ball away from 2 Auburn defenders. 99, Hill, 6'5", big, strong. But no match for Robinson as he just throws the ball up. A little bit of shoveling there by quarter number 3. and Porter runs right by the ball. Carter comes down with it. I was going to say, Keith, passing teams, I think most coaches would agree that passing teams kind of run out of steam in the fourth quarter, and I would advise Tennessee to get as many as they can right now. We saw what happened at UCLA, and many times passing teams just kind of run out of steam, and the running teams take over.
The kickoff is a low liner that bounces past the first man and bounces on through the end zone, and Auburn will have it first down at their own 20.
Here are the plays of the scoring drive, 8 60 yards. Only 2 minutes and 7 seconds, and we know how fast Robinson can take them down.
We'll see the flex bone of the Air Force Academy Falcons, Bishop Berry's ball club, against Notre Dame next Saturday here on ABC. And you know what kind of black clouds are going to be following the Fighting Irish, that they've lost big today. So it'll be a time for them to step up and be counted next Saturday. Jeff Berger is back in at quarterback now for Auburn, pitches it back to Bo Jackson. He gets a little bit of a hole and then turns on the power and runs for about 8 yards on that carry. Reggie Ware and Brent Fullwood now are the setbacks with Fullwood, the deep man. He has the ball. He is hit behind the line of scrimmage, and then he is driven back short of the first down. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Kenny Donahue has that Tennessee defensive crowd swarming. Auburn's going to have to throw the ball a little bit, Frank. They're going to have to.
One-dimension offense is very, very hard to move the ball consistently. But number 16, Tommy Sims, the safety.
The safeties are taught to fill inside the defensive end. Be a linebacker on the running play. And Jones, 54, set him up. Sims, 16, comes in along with 14, number Brown.
Auburn spends a timeout now with about a half a yard to go for the first down.
Jones, here's Jones's play, number 54. The junior tight end, the defensive end, just whips the blocker and makes the play.
You've got 7:13 to play in the first half, and Tennessee out to a whopping 21-0 lead. Auburn backfield, 3.5 yards to keep it. Short of their own 30. A.G. dives. Oh, Ware. Reggie Ware dives. Number 36, and he gets the first down. Who did he go over? He went over his top of Steve Wilson. Big left guard that time to get it.
Just a sophomore. Started as a redshirt freshman. No points.
Now A.G.'s in there at the up back with Jackson behind him. First down. Ball at the 32. Berger gives it to Bo Jackson. Well, every time Bo gets it, there's a swarm of burnt orange around him.
Why is there a swarm, Keith? Mainly because the linebackers and cornerbacks are ignoring the pass. When you're one-dimension offense, and if you're a pretty good defensive coach, as you've already said Ken Donahue is, you know that they're going to be crowding the run. But look what Bo Jackson did as a baseball player. Much doubt and discussion as whether he's going to go pro baseball or pro football. Just outstanding in both sports.
You've got a problem right now. Late September in Tennessee. Berger's pass to the sidelines. The intended receiver slipped and fell trying to come back to the ball. Freddie Wiggin was out there deep. Let Bo throw it.
He can throw it, I bet you that.
Berger zips one. That's incomplete. The pass intended for Trey Gaines. That was a play that worked earlier. At that time, the pass was not on the money, and the Tennessee defenders are raising their arms to the crowd of 94,000 plus.
Pat Dye is trying to get his team settled down, letting them know that it's a 60-minute ball game, trying to get their mistakes corrected. But the momentum, the Tennessee defense team are gaining confidence with every Auburn possession.
Colbert to punt for the Tigers and McGee deep. McGee has not had a chance to return one. Colbert's had the ball well up, forcing 3 fair catches. And he's got another one up, and this one rides the wind and goes a long way to the 13. And McGee dancing around, runs out of time, and he is dropped at the 16. That was a 53-yard punt. Here's Jim.
All right, Keith,
Keith Davis and William Howard, the backs now, and the ball goes to Davis. He weaved. No, it is Howard weaving his way. Well, those numbers are tough. And he gets it out across the, well, about the 24.
Keith, I always thought that Tennessee used those jerseys because you can't see the numbers, and when you try to scout them or in the film, you just can't tell. But Howard is a sophomore fullback, averaged over 5 yards last year as a freshman. Good balance, good power as a runner.
It's second down, long 2, short 3, however you like it. He's checking off again. On a throw on 2nd and 3. Now, just wrong again. Tony Robinson runs the football for a first down at the 38-yard line.
When the best pass rusher that Auburn has, number 98, Gerald Williams, but you can see he's reckless, just coming right up the field with one thing in mind, rush the passer. Galbraith, number 76, just takes him right out and makes an open hole for quarterback Robinson right through for the first down.
Throwing on first down this time. And got his man, Tim McGee. How many times do you see that? He goes out to the sidelines, goes up about 6 or 8 yards, and then whistles it back inside.
Once again, man-for-man coverage. I don't believe you can cover Tim McGee. Man-for-man. Inside number 45 was chasing him all the way down the field. Jimmy Warren, the cornerback, who had played as a regular 2 years ago. Now he tries to come back inside. The pass right there, wide open is McGee.
And it's first down Tennessee at the Auburn 37-yard line.
Here's the blitz.
Number 9, Powell, creeping up. They beat it. They hand the ball off to the fullback, and William Howard rolls for a first down to the Auburn 26.
Keith, I'd hate to be calling defenses for Auburn because they don't know whether to rush the passer now or defend the run. The quarterback coach, Walt Harris of Tennessee, is doing a great job of mixing the plays. You can see the wide open area there. Tennessee left side of the line of the offensive line. Douglas and Galbraith just drove them out and opened up the big, big hole.
They're running about 10 yards per carry, rushing the ball today. Panuska and Howard now in the backfield behind Robinson. They've got 127 yards on the ground. And Tony Robinson does not like the people he has, does not like the circumstance, and at 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the first half, calls a timeout. To him that you're going to have to run some. Well, this is what he said.
We know we must run the ball effectively to help our passing game. And we've had good running the last 2 or 3 years, but we need to improve it vastly for us to have a balanced offensive attack, which I like to strive for.
He's got it so far.
Boy, he does have it. They've got the Auburn defense completely off balance.
First down at the Tiger 26. Tony Robinson, thinking he might have a free play, gallops into the end zone as there was contact along the line of scrimmage.
Looked like the Auburn nose guard charged across.
It's against the Tigers. Tracy Rocker, I believe it was, that committed himself and couldn't get back, and the whistles will nullify the run by Robinson. The minute contact was made, though, Robinson, Tony, quick-witted, thinking maybe I got a free one, and took off.
Well, Keith, that's smart on the quarterback because sometimes he can get away with that. The play isn't necessarily over when the defense charges offside. Is offensively, yes, the play is over any movement before he even gets started.
But they're looking at 1st and 5 now at the Auburn 21. Tennessee leading 21-0. They got him this time. Number 93. Came blowing in there, and Audrey Bruce. 7 yards. So it's second down and 12. There's that draw. Carrying the ball is Panuska. And he's going to have a first down for Tennessee down close to the Auburn 10-yard line.
When you've got a passer like Robinson, the best play you can have is the fake pass and run. Here's a perfect example of the Back number 35, Howard making the block. Howard made the block, and Beneska breaking into the secondary for the first down. Fake pass and run. Auburn so busy thinking about Robinson, they got caught sleeping.
Pete doesn't have the quickness of Davis. Davis on that play, Frank, might have scored.
Yeah, he has a lot more quick ability than Beneska does.
He's in there right now on first down from the 11.
Here's the blitz.
Robinson rolls it out, dumps it off, and nothing doing as the hit was laid on Howard by Tom Powell. Powell's already 358. That's this being the second largest on-campus stadium in the country. That's just a few more than we had for the UCLA game here 2 weeks ago.
Tennessee fans are very loyal and supportive of the program. It's the thing to do in Tennessee to come see the Volunteers play.
Second down and 10 from the 11.
Here's the blitz again.
Well, they got 9 of them up there. And Tony Robinson just spent his last time out. The Volunteers with no more timeouts remaining. 2:25 to go in the first half. And Tennessee trying to get one more as we take a look at the Auburn campus. Second down from the 11 of Auburn. Robinson with no more timeouts. The last play looked tentative. Gets his pass away to the corner, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. Pass was caught by Tim McGee about 2 strides out of bounds.
Ball and also puts the force in the follow-through that he had injured.
He's only hit 4 of his last 10 passes. Third down from the Auburn 11.
Safety blitz.
That's thrown too high and into the crowd. Intended for Clink Scales. Once again, Robinson is spread on the landscape as he took the full Carlos Rivez, the younger brother of Fuad Rivez, who was so successful here. And Carlos 4 for 4 in field goals against UCLA. Will try one from 27 yards. Crowd says it's good, and so the officials. So Tennessee at 2:11 to go in the first half is out now to a 24-0 lead over the team ranked number 1 coming into the game. Here's the Volunteer campus.
President Reagan this week flew to the University of Tennessee for a briefing on how UT and the private sector have teamed to develop new technology. Botanist Randy Hinkey explained how his multi-million-dollar-a-year business spun off from plant cloning research done in his UT laboratory. Engineer Ralph Gonzalez told Reagan about machine intelligence helping fight diseases and prevent flaws in products. The University of Tennessee teaming with private industry and government to develop new technology.
Tennessee 24-0. Now, was it 1980? They beat them 42-0.
That was the year before Pat Dye came to Auburn.
Yep. Auburn's run off 3 in a row.
It's been a long time since any team has beaten Tennessee 4 years in a row. Long time.
The kickoff again is a low bouncer, and it's picked off by Lee Mark Sellers, a tight end, well upfield. And Auburn will have the football first down at about the 33. Going to have your third quarterback coming into the ball game now for the Auburn Tigers as they're accepting a holding call here against them.
Dead ball, personal foul on the receiving team.
So Pat Washington will now come in and try to get the team moving. Jeff Berger started, couldn't do it. Bobby Walden came in, couldn't do it. And now Pat Washington, a 6'1", 200-pound senior from Mobile, is out there.
Keith, what we've got to point out is 1st and 25, a dead ball foul, and big problem.
The crowd isn't going to help him either down that end of the field. Bo Jackson out to about the 31-32.
Defense last time. Let's see what they are now.
Second down and 12.
Oh, they're back in their regular defense, Keith.
Number 59, Mark Hovanek, a sophomore from Yorktown, Virginia, made the penetration and brought him down.
Well, Auburn certainly doesn't want to give up the ball again by an intercepted pass, and they're being a little bit conservative, staying on the ground, thinking, well, if Tennessee should intercept it, Keith. They have enough time with Robinson to take it in and score again.
Talked to a couple people down here close to the organization, and they tell us that he will not admit to any pain. He says his finger is fine. He says he does have the zip that he wants. We mentioned in the pregame, though, that he did not have the spiral on the ball in pregame warm-ups that he had when we saw him against UCLA. He hurt the finger in practice when he came down hard after releasing a pass and hit one of his teammates' helmets, Robbie Scott. The finger was jammed, it was swollen, it was badly bruised.
For rushing is probably as effective as any in the conference, but they're not getting to him in time to sack him, just make him hurt.
3rd down and 12 as Washington goes back to throw. Throws the sideline pass about 7 feet over the receiver's head. So the Tigers will have to punt it away.
They stop the clock, giving Tennessee, they'll have a little over a minute. They won't have any timeouts, will they, Keith?
No.
But with Robinson, anything can happen. He can make the big play, as we've already seen in this first half. Improvised, unscheduled plays destroy the confidence of the opposing defense. Tennessee just got 10 players.
Yeah, that's all they've got. Now McGee goes back, and Colbert takes a high snap and boots a mile. And it takes the right kind of a bounce for him. They'll be able to kill it deep down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Lewis Colbert, who came into this ball game averaging 48.5 yards per punt, he hit the first 3 ordinarily. 41, 32, and 34. California again. Both those teams lost last night, so they're going the wrong direction. But they do play next week, 3 games, so they should settle it there.
Keith, Tennessee's in their goal line offense. They want to run out the clock.
And Robinson takes the snap and goes down on a knee around the 10-yard line, and that'll get him inside a minute to play in the first half. Well, what do you think of the first half?
Well, I think that Tennessee has played far above what they could possibly hope to. It's been a near perfect ball game for a couple of interceptions, but their defense is the biggest surprise. Being able to stop the Auburn running attack. The quarterbacks at Auburn have not lived up to any of the expectations that Pat Dye had for them.
Now all Tennessee wants to do is just keep the clock rolling. They got to snap it one more time. And he does, and that'll do it for the first half of play. Both teams will head for the clubhouse, and the Tennessee Volunteers at halftime. With a crowd of more than 94,000 watching at Neyland Stadium lead the Auburn Tigers 24-0. Here's Tim Brandt.
Johnny, it was a well-played first half. We have talked about the obvious with the receivers and Tony Robinson and the defense. You had some breakdowns the offensive line against UCLA. Is that the biggest improvement today offensively?
Well, our offensive line blocked very well on the pass protection against UCLA. They were tremendous on their stunning, and they were quick. We didn't run the ball very well against them, but our offensive line played well in the first game. I think they're making some progress this week, I hope.
You mentioned to us yesterday that you were hoping that the running game could get going. That was a major factor in this ball game for you, and it has.
Yes, it has. The draw play with Auburn's aggressive rush, the draw plays opened up a few times, and our fullbacks and tailbacks have run very well when they've had a chance.
2 quick, important questions. First, Tony's finger. Has it been a problem at all?
Well, if we'd have
Get it?
Game on Tuesday, he wouldn't have played. He really got more effective Wednesday and Thursday, and thank goodness at this stage.
The other question, you and I talked about it yesterday. Your last 2 ball games gave up a lot of points late in the ball game. How do you overcome that? Do you even address that today?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the best I can not to mess up the team and the staff. I'm going to tell them to play just like we were tied and go on about their business.
All right. All right, so Tennessee, 24-0 over number 1 ranked Auburn here in Knoxville.
CFA with the Volunteers of Tennessee, a startling 24-0 lead over the number 1 ranked Auburn Tigers. Just astounding in many ways. Another point I'd like to make on the Kenneth Davis situation. The best of my information is he is a 5th-year senior, which means he can take off tonight if he wants. As far as I know about the whole legal process of this thing, he's a 5th-year senior, so his class is gone. Now look to the highlights of this first half, where Tennessee has literally dominated it. Here's the first touchdown as Wilson on a power play right goes in from 3 yards to make it 7-0.
Beautiful blocking. Just Wilson takes the ball and outruns everybody at the boundary, cuts back at the last minute. McCurdy, number 52, cannot grab and get a good tackle on him. Wilson's the best runner, I think, that Tennessee has. Takes it in for the touchdown.
Tony Robinson still going in the first quarter. Goes here to McGee for 37 yards. Beautifully touched pass. Make it 14-0.
Speed is a primary element of a receiver, but setting up the back is also a key point. Watch how wide open McGee is behind the secondary. 3 or 4 yards advantage. Easy touchdown.
And then a rather remarkable play for Vince Carter as he climbs up in the air to pull this one down.
I don't believe in much divine intervention in football games, but I believe it did come in there. Luck there. But
Revez, a 27-yard field goal, 24-0. Here's Tim Brandt with Coach Pat Dye.
All right, Pat, you're down here 24-0. You go into the locker room. What do you tell them in that situation?
Well, you know, it's obviously they've done a great job in getting ready to play us, and we've done everything we can do to help them in the first half. They out-fought us. They out-executed us. It wasn't anything that I could look and see that we could hang our hat on. We moved the ball a little bit, and then we'd do something. They'd take us out of it, throw an interception, a fumble of football, or whatever. Of course, Robinson's capable of doing what he did offensively in the first half, and we got to him a little bit, but he pulled away from us, came up with the big plays, and he hurt us so bad throwing the football. They come back and move the ball on us running.
Pat, you're right about the running game. Bo already has 85 yards in the first half. Do you settle on a quarterback, or what's the quarterback situation going to be?
Well, we had planned to play Jeff Berger and Bobby Walden, and so we at the last right there came with Pat Washington because he's been in this place before.
Do you pass more this half to loosen it up even more?
Well, I don't think we can come out and throw the ball every down. We've got to have a balanced offense, and I think what we need to do is be consistent. I mean, we've got to take the football and get one in the end zone to try to get a little momentum and get something that we can hang our hat on. Obviously, we got to throw the football to get back in it.
All right, good luck the second half, Pat. Thanks for stopping by. Well, I think he said the obvious, Keith. You can't turn the football over and expect to win, especially here in Knoxville with more than 90,000 fans, and as you mentioned, a defense that just keeps swarming.
Well, your halftime stats there would, if you just picked up those as you were idling by someplace and having all the hype going into this ball game, I'm sure you would say, wait a minute, those can't be right. But they are right. And Auburn showing 86 yards on the ground, and it's virtually all been Bo Jackson, while as Tennessee has shown more balance in their progress up and down the field, and they have been dominant in the first half of play. I don't know. Frank Rawls and I were talking a few minutes ago while we were away, and it just seems to me if Bo doesn't belong to a union, and if he got 40 snaps in the second half, I reckon he might have 35.
I think we can expect that. Give the ball to Bo and see what happens. That's their best chance.
Pete Panuska takes the kickoff to open the second half for Tennessee, immediately runs into one of his own people and falls down, and it's way back on around the 15, 16-yard line as we go along with the Auburn defensive alignment. Right now, here's Tennessee with the football opening at their own 15-yard line and leading by a score of 24-0 as Tony Robinson rolls out, throws underneath. The pass is thrown to William Howard out of the backfield, and Howard may have a first down. He does, as a matter of fact, as he gets up across the 25. One senior, a sophomore, and 2 juniors back there, and they are all hitters. Right now, Tennessee controlling this ball game, and they have a first down at their own 26. Keith Davis to about the 29. The offensive alignment for Tennessee, they lost a job today. It's second down and about 7 for the Vols from their 29. There goes Davis. All the way to the Auburn 46.
Tennessee changed the play at the line of scrimmage and decided to go off tackle right at Bruce, number 99. Look at the good blocking, and now the moves of this young freshman right here. Keith Davis, watch him cut right there. Makes a couple people miss him, shows his speed, his running ability, picks up Clint Scales' block, finally is thrown down by Williams.
Remember, Williams at 270, and he got him from the backside. Davis now on 4 carries, but 71 yards. And the Volunteers on the Auburn side of the field again.
The blitz is coming.
And Robinson on first down. Getting it from the backside. Clobbered by Gerald Williams. You can only hold him out so long. And is back in the game. Judged okay by the doctors at halftime. And Robinson fakes it, sets up a screen at the top of the picture. And Wilson can't get much out of it.
Game, as we've known many, many times, the execution of the quarterback, outstanding by Tennessee, fatal, near fatal by Auburn.
They got 159 yards on the ground and 159 yards in the air. And Robinson on a deep drop on 3rd and long has good protection and goes down the middle with it. And oh, I'm telling you, he was looking at Swanson, I guess it was, over that side, and McGee came curling from the outside and was 10 yards in the clear.
No pass from the previous spot, meaning where the ball was snapped for the punt.
Four officials had to make 3 trips back and across the field to explain it to everybody, but it is 4th and 9, and Garmin is in to punt again, and Gaines is deep.
And Gaines returned a ball for a touchdown against Tennessee 2 years ago.
That one kicks straight through the end zone, and so Auburn will have the ball first down out at the 20. That goes for 44 yards. And there's Smokey, the blue tick hound. Robbie Scott, defensive tackle for Tennessee, 275. Richard Brown, the middle guard, 265. Good first half for him. Mark Pavanik, 245. The other tackle. The backers are Tyrone Robinson, 215. Dale Jones, right side outside, 220. Kelly Ziegler, 220. And Darren Miller at 235. Now let's see what Pat Dye has decided to try to do here as he sends Jeff Berger out at quarterback to start the second half. Ball goes to Bo Jackson. And Bo's going to have about 4 yards on the carry from the 20 to the 24. The defensive secondary for the Tennessee Volunteers, a little different look in them today, in that you've got Andre Creamer coming off injury at left corner. The right corner is Terry Brown, 5'11". Tommy Sims, a strong safety, 190. And Charles Davis, a free safety, at 190. Second and 6, and Jackson again. Jackson right, Jackson left. Got a crowd at the 20.
That's the best pursuit on that particular play that I've seen this year. The counter sweep is usually something that's very vulnerable, and Tennessee played it beautifully.
The offensive alignment for Auburn is same as the one that started the ball game. Of course, they're rotating people in and out, and right now Brent Fullwood has come out to line up a tailback for them. And it's 3rd down and 10. Berger looking to throw the ball. Gets it off. It is caught. Good throw by Berger to Scott Bolton, a sophomore from Theodore, Alabama.
Bolton on the left for the first down.
Ball at the 34. This is Fullwood. And Brett Fullwood's going to have 5 yards on that carry as he gets it out around the 39.
Knowing Pat Dye, as I do, I would believe he got in the dressing room and said, "Men, we're going to play our ball."
2nd down, 5. Up man Agee. Almost. But Dale Jones got a piece of him.
Sensational play. Jones is lined up way out here over the tackle. He goes inside. He gets blocked in by Wallace on the fullback play up the middle to the opposite side and makes the play.
And it's 3rd and 3. Berger back to throw for Auburn. Swings it out to Agee. Open field tackle. And down he goes at the 35. And Tennessee's swarming defense taking command of this football game.
Keith, you're right. The defense has just been outstanding. A young group of players that are playing much better than and more effective than anyone could have anticipated. Just outstanding in stopping this Auburn offense.
4th and 8, and Lewis Colbert is in for his 6th punt of the day. Tim McGee is the deep man for Tennessee. The wind will help Colbert here a little. Beautiful punt. Crowd oohs and ahs over that one, and it's down toward the corner and out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Oh, boy, what a kick. Their own two. Keith Davis and William Howard, the setbacks, out of the end zone. Let's see now if the Auburn defense can make something happen. Run the fullback from the 2 to the 7. That's a big gain from the 2-yard line when you're trying to set a goal line defense and hold them.
I'm sure that as we look at Pat Dye, 5th season at Auburn, winning percentage 72%. Pat Dye has coached 11 years before this year, all of them in the wishbone. He's gone to the eye as we look at what Tony Robinson has done so far today.
Tony Robinson has been the dominant figure in the ball game, the Tennessee quarterback. Second down and a short 5. They take it inside with Howard again, close to the 10. And they've got to go past the 12 to get the first down. So
not known for their running, trying to drive the ball out from their 1-yard line and keep possession.
They had 159 and 159 respectively in their offense in the first half. It's 3rd and 3. They go to Davis. Nothing there. I mean, that was a strong rush.
Trophy candidate Bo Jackson.
Out of the end zone, Garman. Low kick. Gaines comes up at the 45, gets a block to the 40 and down at the 38. It is now 2nd down and 10 and a half.
Auburn's in a running formation, goal line type attack.
Handed off to the fullback. Bo Jackson is the tailback, but that time they gave it to Tommy Agee.
Agee, on a quick hitter, has had good success all year long.
3rd and 5 for Auburn. Jeff Berger is the quarterback. Jackson. They bend him back at the 30. 7-0, the Hawkeyes beating Iowa State in a ball game many of you were watching out in the western and midwestern part of the country. Here it's 24-0 Tennessee. Auburn on 4th down and a yard. And the ball goes to Reggie Ware, and I think as he went over the top, he probably got enough. Judge Jackson has 87 yards. It goes to Fullwood. Great speed, pops it through there, and gets a first down for the Tigers down near the Tennessee 16. And their first real big threat of the ball game. On 1st down, they go to Fullwood. He spins it in the middle. And he's down to about the 13-yard line.
Establish that confidence. Quit fooling around with fancy plays, options, and so forth.
2nd down and 6. Fullback Agee. Pounds to about the 8-yard line. He's got to go inside the 7 to get the first down. Back into the backfield, number 36. Fullwood remains at tailback. Jackson's out of the ball game right now. Go to Fullwood. And they've got him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 4th down.
Fullwood should have never broken outside. That is absolutely what Tennessee wanted. We talked about earlier stopping the cutback and forcing to go east and west, sideways. Tennessee defense caught him.
Well, Messimer, the inside backer, number 46, forced him out somewhat right into Terry Brown for the tackle. And the ball is on the 9, and it's 4th down, about 2.5 yards, with 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They go back to the tailback, and he dives at the top of the stack, and he's close.
He did make it, Keith. Short of it.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, it's going to be close, but well, now Auburn thinks they've got it. Tennessee says they haven't.
And the referee, Jimmy Harper, says they haven't, and Tennessee has stopped them. So the Tennessee Volunteers at 1:49 to go in the 3rd quarter stops Auburn deep and leads 24-0. Stirred up, 94,358 or some such. And now they'll quiet down some as the home team comes out first down on their own 8-yard line. Davis drops into the tailback position. Robinson gives it to him. And Auburn clobbers him as he comes up to the 9.
Well, that Air Force is moving that football, Keith. They're right up in the leading offensive teams in the nation, particularly in running. Close to it.
Out in Colorado Springs at the academy. Robinson out of the end zone. Throws it away. He was pinned right near the back of the end zone. It's 3rd down and 8 for Tennessee. Their own 9. See if they elect to throw it again. Nope, on a draw with Davis. He's popped that play a couple of times today, but this time he is down at the 14-yard line, and Garmin will have to come in and punt from deep in his own territory. So once again, the Auburn defense does its job. Enos is back up near his own 42. Wind whirls around inside this place. Not a lot of wind, but there's enough to affect the punting. That's a good one by Garmin. Gaines at the 43 and down at the 45. Tim Hendricks, tight end, hustling downfield. It was a 45-yard punt by Garmin and a 2-yard return by Gaines. So once again, the Tennessee defensive people come out, and Auburn trying to crank it up. They've been trying all afternoon, but so far they have not been able to do it.
Jackson is having trouble with his knee, Keith Jackson. He came in last series, or came out last series. Pat Dye asked him if he wanted to go back in, and he shook his hand and shook his shoulders. He's not sure, but it is a knee problem. We're trying to find out more.
Right. Thank you, Timmy. There he is, kneeling on the sidelines. I just got to believe a fellow of that quality and character, he'll play hurt all day long, but obviously if he's got a bad knee, then he can't be in there. Here comes Berger. No, it is Walden. Bobby Walden at quarterback, number 15, as Pat Dye continues to alternate his quarterbacks
of any of the Auburn young quarterbacks.
And the 3rd quarter is history, with Tennessee leading 24-0. And we will continue after this message and the words from our local station. Walden starts at quarterback in the final period. Brent Fullwood, the tailback. The option. Fullwood. Big block, big hole. Agee gave him a tremendous block on the corner, and he's got a first down inside the 30. And Walden sets and throws, and he drills it, and it's good to number 14, Freddie Wagan.
He's got to. The fans are particular.
Goes to Fullwood again, and he's got 4 yards to about the 11. In 1971, big fella down here working radio for the Auburn folks, Pat Sullivan, took the Tigers all the way down the field to a 10-9 win.
Jones, number 54, likes to chase. They call him the gung-ho football player, the hit man. You can see why. He goes all the way from the opposite side of the play and makes the tackle. Dale Jones, number 54.
Ball just short of the 11, 2nd down for the Tigers. Walden wants to throw. Looks into the end zone. Runs away from the pressure. Gets to the 5-yard line and close to a first down. I think he does have a first down. Tennessee 5. And it goes to Fullwood. And he stopped at the 2.
With a running team like this, he should just stick it right in the end zone.
Agee. Touchdown. And replacing Floyd recovered a fumble earlier on in the day. And here comes the option with Walden keeping, and he won't get there. Tennessee came out and took away the trailing option man from the quarterback, and Walden had to try and took a lick and failed. Little heat shifts over here to the Tennessee offense now.
2 things, Keith. The Tennessee defense are expecting, at least they lined up to prevent an onside kick.
They kick it away, and deep people are McGee and Davis. The speedster gets McGee. And downfield coverage is good under the high hanging kick, and McGee is brought down out near the 18-yard line.
Made one first down and gave them good field position. They'll open up now, Keith. I don't think they'll go conservative. They'll use their best ace, Robinson, the quarterback, who's just outstanding.
They've only thrown 4 times in the second half.
They'll change that.
That's McGee in motion. Play action. Robinson looking, nobody now, unloads it, and the pass is caught by the tight end, Jeff Smith, up around the 24-yard line. So he was able to avoid the loss and completed the little dump pass. This is down and call it 4 as Robinson drops. Goes deep with it. It's complete to McGee. Out of bounds at the Auburn 21. And a late flag. It's going to go against the Auburn Tigers, I think, because it was contact well beyond the field of play.
The two most experienced Auburn defenders, Warren 45 and Powell 9, get completely fooled on the play. Now, 45 Warren is to release him and then drop back, but Powell in safety is supposed to come over in coverage, and he's nowhere in the picture until finally right there. I don't understand. That must have been a busted coverage. Now he's out of bounds, and Powell is going to twist him right there, throw him down after the play has really ended. The flag against Auburn. Keith, knowing pass coverage, Warren either had deep coverage or Powell was completely fooled on the play. Jumped in to cover the tight end, I guess. Going down the middle.
Dead ball, personal foul, a late hit out of bounds on the defensive team.
And that will give the Tennessee Volunteers a first down very close to the Auburn 10.
Well, when Robinson decided to open up, Keith, he'd let him have it. Boy, he's something with that football.
McGee has caught 6 today for 163 yards. The backs are Keith Davis and William Howard. Davis is the deep man.
Blitz is on.
Now he's going to check it off.
We got the 5 seconds.
Better hurry. Got it off. Tony Robinson throws to the sidelines, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Troy Hale, the wingback.
Those substitutes aren't going to defeat the Auburn backs. Clinchfield and McGee can defeat most any backs, man-to-man coverage.
They're back in the game. And so is Swanson. Second down and 10, just outside the 10. Robinson, a little quick pop, lofts it to the corner. Touchdown! Big scale.
Sensational, Keith.
Holding Auburn.
Penalized on the kickoff, touchdown.
Keith, I've said all my life, when you play man for man, you're going to be at a disadvantage of 1 step virtually every time. And Johnson was only 1 step off of Clinchfield. Number 40 was 1 step from him, but that was the difference because of the perfect strike of Robinson.
Revez for the extra point. Got it. And with 11 minutes and 28 seconds to play, they're thinking party in Knoxville, but having been warned 2 weeks ago, they'll wait a few more minutes. Tennessee leading 31-6 kicks off. And Revez this time is told to kick it in the seats, and he does.
Watch the poise of Robinson, the quarterback. He just steps back. It's going to be the quick, and he looks left, and then he arches the ball over the defensive back's head. Just a perfect strike as Clinchfield outruns 40. Now the isolation. Oh, I mean,
name up there. It's not McGee.
That's Clinchfield, number 87. A little bit of shove in there, but the defensive back is beat by 1 step, and that's all it takes if the ball is thrown perfect. Now let's go to the penalty. Well, we'll see the penalty after this play.
Yeah, they were holding Swanson. Brent Fullwood is in there and tailback, and Bobby Walden at quarterback, and Walden throws to the sidelines too high. The pass intended for Freddie Wagan. Here's the penalty call.
Number 45, Warren.
Lose a little poise, frustration.
Well, Keith, I think that Robinson's just dynamite. He's sensational in virtually everything that he's doing.
Fullwood, the eye back for Auburn, runs it up the middle. And there's a couple of yards there for him, and that'll do it. In case you're wondering where in the world Bo Jackson is, he, as we're told, has a sore knee and didn't feel that he was capable of being as efficient as Brent Fullwood.
That's the Tennessee scoring drive. Tennessee opened up. They'd been conservative when they had it deep. This time they went 82 yards in record time.
It's 3rd down and 7 for Auburn. Walden got all day to throw and finally throws it in the ground. The pass intended for Jeff Parks, the tight end, and here's Tim Brandt again.
Keith, we have found out that it is Bo Jackson's left knee. We don't think it is hurt seriously, but they cut all the tape off of him about 5 or 6 minutes ago, even before that last Tennessee touchdown. It is very doubtful he'll be back in the ball game. We told you earlier it was a knee. It is a sore left knee, and he said it was bothering him when he was taking his cuts to the left side. So it is the left knee, as we suspected, but we don't think it is really that serious. They're just being very precautious.
Precautious? 4th down.
Boy,
this kid can kick.
He can kick that ball. That 48-yard average in the first 2 ball games is no fluke.
I'll tell you, that was a 53-yarder. Here's Jim Lempley.
Frank?
I just don't believe any coach should run up the score in any circumstance.
Tony Robinson goes deep down the middle trying to nail a big one, and it's intercepted by Tom Powell. That's his 3rd of the day, and Powell is still running. And he runs all the way back to the Tennessee 24-yard line. Oh, my goodness, what a run by Powell.
Keep going back to what Jim Lampley said. Anybody that runs up the score.
1st down from the 24 for Auburn after that great run by Powell, and Walden back to throw it. Goes deep into the corner, and it is caught out of bounds by Freddie Wagan. Off the field of play, so play on the field continues. As Fullwood carries the ball and bounces to the outside, and he's out of bounds inside the 10 at the 7. On Auburn at the 7-yard line. 1st and goal for the Tigers. They trail 31-6. And here's Walden throwing again for Wagan. Again, it is out of bounds, incomplete. 6 out of 17 for a mere 55 yards.
That will come to haunt them, I think, Keith, as the season goes along. If they can't throw, they might as well go back to the wishbone.
2nd down. Goal. Fullwood. He's got it. Touchdown.
Not much war left. They did take the touchdown in 23 seconds on the clock.
Walden going for 2, throws back of the end zone, has a man wide open, Treganis, and threw it too high. And so they've tried for the 2 points successively, and they have failed. It was UCLA that went for successive 2 points and succeeded, that tied Tennessee earlier.
Dale Jones, the
onside kick. Tennessee covers it at their 42. Eric Swanson, wide receiver. Tennessee anticipating onside kick, had sent receivers and backs up on the line of scrimmage, and sure enough, there it was. Took a nice gravy bounce for Swanson. Let him hang out again at 9:43 to play. That last touchdown they got was a big one. Tony Robinson, the quarterback, takes his time, gives the ball to Keith Davis, the freshman running back, and Davis is turning for a 1st down to the Auburn 45.
Oh, that was a great blocking and an outstanding run and cut by Davis. Gave Auburn on the right of your screen. Auburn is in there. They got the linebacker blitz, but a good blocking right there. They opened up a hole, big hole. Davis with his quickness makes, I guess that was Powell, number 9, missed him.
He's good looking back.
Oh, he is a good looking back. I'm sure Johnny Major's pleased about his performance today.
At 87 yards on 8 carries, they give this one off to the big fullback, William Howard. And Howard's got 4 yards as he reaches the 41.
as we look at Johnny Majors, who was a great football player here at Tennessee.
He wanted to grin there, but he didn't dare.
No, he's afraid to grin. Grin when it's over, Keith, when you get with your family.
Yeah, that's right.
Get back with your wife, Mary Lynn, a lovely lady, his 2 children. Then you can smile and relax for one day.
He remembers 2 weeks ago. 2nd down and 6. Henderson into the backfield now at fullback. And it goes to the tailback. Davis gets around the corner and knocked out of bounds just inside the 35 for another Tennessee first down. Again, Jim.
All right, Keith.
That's a tough football team. They were impressive 3 weeks in a row. First down for Tennessee inside the 35. And it goes to the fullback, William Howard. And he's got 5. And Auburn's defense may be getting a little tired, Frank.
Yes, it looks that way, Keith. But the combination of the Tennessee offensive line is really making it successful.
2nd down and 6. Davis. And underneath all the bodies at the line of scrimmage, there is a penalty flag.
Tennessee offensive line.
Well, I guess maybe he did lose a towel instead. It's the same color.
The offensive line of Tennessee are really getting some good practice in the running game, which they need.
Third down and 5. Robinson lofts it for the corner for Swanson. Touchdown. He took it away from Arthur Johnson.
As good as Robinson is, he is the beneficiary of some outstanding receivers, Keith. We have seen Clinkscale, Swanson, and McGee just outmaneuver the Auburn secondary throughout this football game. Another great play by one of their receivers. Tennessee blessed with great receivers and one of the finest quarterbacks we've seen.
Revez for the extra point. And you may have heard a thud. That was the door slamming. It's 38-12 with 7 minutes and 6 seconds to play in the football game. The home team has the lead.
Robinson drops back. It's a quick pass. He looks left. He sees that he's got one-on-one coverage, and he just throws it up in the air, hoping that Swanson can run under it and maybe out-jump the defender. But the pass was perfect. If it had been thrown 2 inches shorter, Johnson 40 would have knocked it down. Here we see the protection and how he just lofted the ball where it will come down at one spot.
Yeah,
you couldn't throw it any better.
That ball was more to Johnson's hands than it was Swanson.
Well, Swanson has one step right there, the one step. The ball has to be thrown out in front of him, and it wasn't. You're right, Keith. It was underthrown just a little bit. From this angle, we could see that.
Well, Eric said, I want that.
He got it, too.
That's Collins from the 4-yard line trying to work his way up the sidelines, and he does well to about the 32. So the #1 team, the Auburn Tigers, have come to Neyland Stadium, Shields Watkins Field in Knoxville, Tennessee, before 94,358.
Does Tennessee score in a hurry? Look at there, Keith.
Gotten themselves a whipping.
2:37. I tell you, the Auburn team is going to really have to regroup. They have a tough schedule down the way.
Either one of them has a gimme.
No, that's right. Southeastern Conference may be the toughest from top to bottom.
That's Fullwood running hard, and again, Brent Fullwood moving for good yardage. Picked up 13 on that one out to the 45. Bobby Walden back to throw. Gets it off to the sideline to the receiver coming back to the ball, Scott Bolton. And he makes the catch short of the first down, a couple of yards or so. 48, where it is 2nd down and 3. Walden wigwags and goes out to throw. Directing traffic. Throws the ball too low and bangs it right off the chest. It looks like a big Fred Bennett. Fred's from Pritchard, Alabama, wearing the orange of Tennessee.
Interesting. Bennett started against UCLA, but didn't play up to the with intensity that his coaches thought. So they worked him on the second team, Keith, and that's always good for a sophomore. Work him on that second team. Don't start it, and when you put him in, he plays like a wild man. Little psycho. You got to be more than a coach. You got to know more than football. What happened?
Oh, management. 3rd down and 3. And it is Fullwood spinning open in the middle. And he takes the ball down inside the 40 to the 30.
He hurt, Keith. The tackle got him, seemed like, right in the leg. One of those diving tackles.
Jackson out with a sore knee. Fullwood down in pain right now. And Fullwood has had a big ball game.
Pat Dye's decision to go the I formation after coaching the Wishbone for 11 years was really a major decision.
Curtis Stewart in at tailback as Walden puts it in the air, and the pass is caught for the tight end, Jeff Parks. And Parks is down for a 1st down, and Tennessee playing that prevent defense.
You're right, Keith. They're playing very, very loose.
18-yard line, 1st down. Ball goes to Stewart. Stewart over the left side. Well, he went for 8 yards at least. There's a penalty flag on the play. And Tennessee is calling holding against Auburn. Let's see if the men in the striped shirts agree. And it's 1st down and goal to go for Auburn at the Tennessee 4. 5.5 minutes to play and 38 to 12. And Walden rolls out to throw. Got a man wide open for the touchdown. Kyle Collins. Going for 2. Walden options down the line. Goes to Stewart. Stewart turns it inside and gets the 2-point conversion. And it is now, with 5:27 to play, still Tennessee's ball game by 18. Are up front for Tennessee. They tried the last time, and the Volunteers covered. And got a touchdown out of the field position.
When you have a score like Tennessee has it last 2 weeks ago, they're ready for anything.
And Tennessee's covered this one. The ball didn't travel 10 yards. The Tennessee man Jesse Messemer went straight at it and got it at the Auburn 47. Here's Jim. He's in the flex bone. They've got a problem with that, too. Keith Davis is the I-back. William Howard, the fullback for Tennessee. 1st down, Auburn 47, and Davis almost lost it, but gets outside and picks up a 1st down.
That's good running, Keith, for a young freshman. Very promising young freshman. 2 tight ends, kind of a running offense. Howard leading the play. Davis goes over 100 yards right now, 102 yards and 11 carries. That's pretty doggone good for a young freshman. Juggling that ball, that would frighten me a little bit.
I said to myself, don't drop it.
Howard, 35, just made the key block.
It is a 1st down. Henderson comes back into the lineup. Bo Jackson has not been seen much in the 2nd half because of the sore knee. 81 yards for him, 97 yards for Fullwood, the backup. And he's hurt.
And Bo Jackson had 76 yards in the 1st half, so he's had 5 this half. Still in 2 tight ends, Keith, running formation.
Yeah, but McGee's down to the bottom of the picture. They stay with the run, give it to Davis, a couple of yards, as he is hit when he receives the ball from Tony Robinson. The dominant figure in the football game, though, was and has been all day long Tony Robinson, number 10.
We've had 2 outstanding games with Tennessee, particularly their offense, and the defense came in this week and played some good football, particularly the first 3 quarters.
We're still going to have to cinch it up in the 4th quarter.
Keith, what are the odds that Keith Davis, the freshman, would outrush Jackson and Fullwood? About 1,000 to 1.
They pop this one up the middle with Howard, the fullback, and he's down inside the 30, so they're looking at 3rd and short. Well, it's been the big play. Tennessee has had 8 plays today of 25 yards or more.
That was the one thing that Pat Dye told me last night. If they could just contain Tennessee from the big play. Give them some first downs, but not the big play. They had a chance to win. They didn't do it, and they're losing.
Jim Lampley will bring you up to date on the college football scoreboard, as well as show you the Chevrolet play of the game. You've got quite a variety of choices, guys, to pick from.
When you do a Tennessee game, you're going to have some with that Robinson at quarterback.
3rd down and 4. They stay with a run. Give it to Davis. And he is belted by Arthur Johnson. I imagine Arthur's a little hot after having that interception taken away from him in the end zone. Well, go for a touchdown. Now Tennessee has decided to punt. On 4th and 4, Garman just going to knuckle it up in the air. Well, that wasn't a whole lot of knuckling.
When you're on the right hash mark, never try to kick the ball out of bounds on the right side, because you'll slice it 3 out of 4 times and get virtually nothing out of it.
Well, he got 7 yards.
That's virtually nothing.
Air Force trying to stay on their roll against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, who are trying to cinch it up, make something of the season. Of course, the world knows it is Jerry Faust's final year in his contract. That will be a prime subject, I imagine, in many quarters across the country this week. First down now for Auburn. All just short of the 23. And Bobby Walden, son of the great punter, puts it in the air and throws it out of bounds, incomplete. The pass was caught by Freddie Wagan, but out of bounds. I want to, now you were a punter at Georgia Tech. And you take another look here at the throw and the catch. While they're looking at that, I want to ask this question. Why in the world don't punters today kick the ball end over end more, straight down the foot?
Well, he should have kicked the ball end over end, or at least to the left. Never try to kick the ball out of bounds on the right hash mark. It's so easy to slice the ball just as he did there, out of bounds for a short punt. End over end is not bad at that place.
You bet. Walden fires, and this pass is caught by Parks.
Little tip drill there on offense.
Bolton, who caught it?
I think 24.
Bolton caught it.
Yeah, Bolton 24 caught it.
Ball comes out from 34 in time. Clock running 3:14. Auburn with 1 timeout remaining. Tennessee leading 38-20 as Bobby Walden goes back to throw it again and gets trapped, and down he goes. Back around the 26-27-yard line. Tennessee in control here. Here's Jim.
All right, Keith.
Kenny Anderson's alma mater, isn't it? Cincinnati Bengal quarterback that you'll see next Monday. The loss is back to about the 27, where it is 2nd down and long. Auburn comes up to the football now at their own 27-yard line. 2nd down. They've got to go to the 44 to keep the ball. Get the first down. Walden, sideline pattern, thrown. No good. Out of bounds. He was trying to tiptoe, Freddie Wagan was, but could not get a foot down.
Walden, the backup relief quarterback, trying to get Auburn's offense going in the passing game. Ball was thrown a little bit outside. Wagan has to have control of the ball before he steps out of bounds, at least 1 foot. I believe his right foot is on the line before he got control of it.
So it is 3rd down and about 17. This pass is away down the middle and intercepted by Tennessee. Coming up with the ball, Victor Peppers. So little Victor, 5'8", 155-pound sophomore from Albany, New York, comes up with the interception. And that's solace for him because it was Victor who got beat in UCLA's tying touchdown play 2 weeks ago.
Well, the Tennessee defense, Keith, I don't know how we can say too much about Ken Donahue and the job that he's done since he came here from Alabama. Was Bear Bryant's great defensive coach for so many years. Came back to his alma mater, Tennessee, and has given them some pride and some enthusiasm and emotion, and the Tennessee defense has really played with emotion.
Darrell Dickey is now in at quarterback. He's the son of the new athletic director here at the University of Tennessee and former coach here. Darrell Dickey in the ball game.
Keith, Darrell Dickey was born in Fayetteville, Arkansas, when Doug was my backfield coach.
Well, judging from the crowd of 94,358, and that's we've seen over 94,000 in 2 out of 3 weeks here.
Illegal delay on the offensive team.
Looks to me like Doug Dickey is taking over a pretty successful operation, succeeding Bob Woodruff as the athletic director.
Well, Bob Woodruff had built a tremendous athletic program. All sports. They've won the National All Sports Trophy before. They've won the Bernie Moore Southeastern Conference All Sports Trophy many times. Tremendous facilities here. Basketball arena going up to 25,000.
First down and 15. They're going to run the ball until Auburn stops them. And Auburn can't kill the clock anymore because they have no more timeouts remaining. And we've gone inside 2.5 minutes to play.
Of course, I want to wish Bob Woodruff the very best in his retirement, Keith. He was my coach in college, took me into coaching, got me started as a coach at Baylor University. We went together. He the head coach, and I was the backfield coach. A great man for college athletics.
He'll just catch all the trout around here.
He loves to fish.
It's second down and now about 16. As Dickey hands the ball away to Henderson, and he'll pick up 3 or 4 yards. Today's game, an ABC Sports exclusive, brought to you by Stroh's and Stroh's Light, the circle of sports beer. And by Chevrolet, who invites you to see today's Chevy. Drive today's Chevy, live today's Chevy. By Mutual of Omaha, people you can count on. And by GMAC, the financial services people from General Motors. Third down and 12 now for Tennessee. Go back again. Well short of the first down as Henderson picks up about 3 or 4. And the punting team will now come on for the Volunteers. They will take their sweet time as we come up on a minute. Our spotter, Todd Barry, our stats, as usual, by Dave Burnson.
Keith, I don't believe they're going to punt it. I think they're just going to stay and run the ball and use it, or at least they'll use the 25-second clock here and then send their kicking team in and punt it. Use all the 25 seconds.
Garman has not come on the field. Dickey, number 11, is still out there.
5 seconds. 4. Official will stop the clock and start it on the snap.
So they take the 5-yard penalty for too much time.
Penalty on Tennessee, 5 yards, delay of game.
The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. Today's game produced by Chuck Howard, directed by Andy Sedaris, our technical director, Jeff Suarez, our associate director, Jack Graham, our technical manager, Bob Armbruster, our unit manager, Jim Feeney, and the assistants to the producer, Dave Marr and Emily Deutsch. And now Garman is in the lineup to punt it away. And for Pat Dye and the Auburn Tigers, perhaps a bitter day in some respects, but there's still time. Their record will drop to 2-1, while Tennessee will now be a win, no losses, and a tie.
Keith, this is the biggest win, as we said earlier, that Tennessee's had in a long time. First time in 26 years that they defeated a #1 ranked team. So congratulations to Johnny Majors. Got a chance to have a great season with Tony Robinson at quarterback.
Of course, you've got to think in terms of beginning to polish somebody behind him, too, in case they run into that old injury bugaboo. You never know. Here's the option pitched outside to Stewart. Auburn's got a little trouble now. Bo Jackson, sore knee, and Brent Fullwood took a lick up on the upper part of the leg and the thigh area, and both of them laid up on the sidelines now. Tennessee lost their center, Hibbert. We don't know how bad he's hurt. But the way they play the game on this rug these days, with bigger, faster, stronger players, they keep colliding with each other at that speed, and sooner or later something's got to give. And almost every week something does. But there will be tonight in Knoxville a point. Walden running around, gets his pass away, misses his receiver, stopping the clock at 17 seconds to go. And now the crowd is starting to get out of control. They're trying to tear the goalpost down at the south end of the stadium. And people spilling out of the stands. And right now, the officials have stopped the ball game for the moment.
Somebody's going to get hurt, Keith, if they're not careful. That goalpost is heavy. If it falls, somebody's going to get hurt unless they bring it down gradually.
I hate to see this. I remember back in 1968, we had a young woman suffer severe injury in this very kind of a melee where a steel goalpost came crashing down. There was maybe a couple of them. I remember also a game, I think, up at Michigan State, Ohio State-Michigan State game. And there was also one where a young woman was hurt in the Yale Bowl that year. But they've got the goalpost down, and the police now have come out on the field, and they're trying to control the melee. And, of course, it'll get a little rambunctious down there, as they are simply not, the policemen and security people are not going to let the crowd take the goalpost away. They're just not going to do it.
I would expect Pat Dye would walk over and say, let's call the game off right now. 17 seconds to play.
Well, it always winds up in this, when the crowd comes out onto the field and they get involved, they always wind up with this kind of a mess. And there's enthusiasm and fervor is a great thing.
Overdone, it's a bad thing.
Overdone, it's a bad thing. Johnny Majors looked like he was on his way down there and somebody stopped him. Don't go down there and get involved in that, coach. But there's 17 seconds to play in the ball game, and they're going to finish it. And there's the young man who had himself another big game. Tony Robinson, quarterback, University of Tennessee. Write the name down.
That's what Tony did today. The first half, with 24 points on the scoreboard, he was truly outstanding.
This is Curtis Stewart for Auburn. And he's run the football down to the 34-yard line, and there's 9 seconds remaining, so Auburn will get one more snap out of it. Security people now lined up to keep the crowd off the field. Once the game is over, they'll let them go. And Walden winds up, throws it in the end zone. The pass is intercepted by Tommy Sims. And the Tennessee Volunteers have defeated the Auburn Tigers 38-20. Stay tuned now for updated highlights and scores of today's action on College Football Scoreboard. Travel arrangements made through and promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United, the only airline to serve all 50 states. This a presentation of ABC Sports.
Quarter. Tennessee at the Auburn 4-yard line, leading 14-0. Still plenty of chance at this point for Auburn to get back in the game. They chased Tony Robinson out of the pocket. He put the ball up for grabs. Vince Carter split 2 Auburn defenders, made the catch. It was 21-0 Tennessee. At that point, that, in effect, was the game. Bo Jackson, 17 carries, 81 yards, and a sore left knee. We'll be back with more after this.
Johnny Majors has walloped Auburn by a score of 38-20. Johnny Majors has walloped Auburn by a score of 38-20. Bo Jackson.
As the Tennessee Volunteers ran by them by a score of 38-20, 359 yards and 4 touchdowns for this man, quarterback Tony Robinson, who is simply remarkable. Bo Jackson, the All-America tailback for Auburn, only got 80 yards into this. And the final, once again, 38-20, running down.
Tigers handled quite easily by Southeastern Conference rival Tennessee in Knoxville. Tony Robinson firing 4 touchdown passes. Bo Jackson held to just 80 yards, left the game in the third with a slight knee injury. Tennessee over Auburn. The final was 38-20. Tennessee striking on its first possession. Quarterback Tony Robinson back to pass, can't find anybody, so he takes off, scrambles 32 yards, and takes it all the way down to the Auburn 32-yard line. And that helps set up the first score of this ball game. Charles Wilson takes the pitch. He rolls right and goes in from 3 yards out. And they're a little excited in Knoxville as the Vols lead 7-0. Following a fumble recovery, Tennessee strikes again. Tony Robinson back to pass. Watch this nice one. 37 yards to Tim McGee. Gets behind the defense. And that put the Vols out on top 14-0, and there was more to come. Auburn could not get it going offensively. Dale Jones of Tennessee forces the bad pitch. Bo Jackson can't handle it. Tennessee recovers the fumble. Jackson is hit hard going for that loose ball. Second quarter, the Vols keep it going. From the Auburn 40, Keith Davis bursts up the middle, then runs right. He picks up 25 yards all the way to the Auburn 15-yard line. And several plays later from the 4, Robinson under heavy pressure, but he floats this one to the end zone. Vince Carter comes up with a nice catch, 21-0 Tennessee. They never looked back, went on to win 38-20. Robinson passing for 259 yards and 4 touchdowns. Tennessee now 1-0-1. Auburn is 2-1. In other top 20.
Putting a 38-yard TD strike as the Vols upended the Tigers 38-20.
It was a great game, and I just wouldn't want to replay a play over again. It was fabulous from every standpoint. I think we whipped a good football team, and we played awfully, awfully hard and awfully, awfully well.